If you don't have your passport, get it now. If you're able to get a passport, there is no reason you should not have a passport. And now is the time. Right now, we are on a decent wait time, a decent processing time for passports. That is expected to change really quickly with the changes in the administration. And so today is November 11th. That should be like a priority if you don't have your passport. Now, if you have your passport, check the expiration date. If it expires within a year, so if it expires on November 7th of 2025, now is the time to renew. You can renew your passport as long as it's within a year, because a lot of countries, your passport has to be valid for at least 6 months before you can enter their country. So it's just an extra 6 months that you would renew, but I highly recommend you doing that now because the processing times are anticipated to grow exponentially. Exponentially. So if you can, go ahead and get the passport. If you don't have one, renew it if you're within a year's time frame, and try to plan to do that now. To renew, and I think to get your first time passport, I know to renew because I just renewed, it's $130. I forgot. I think it's about the same to get it for the first time.
So the pricing is the same. The only difference is if you select a passport card in addition to your passport book, you will pay a little more.
That now because the processing times are anticipated to grow exponentially. Exponentially. So if you can, go ahead and get the passport. If you don't have one, renew it if you're within a year's time frame, and try to plan to do that now. Next on the list, so what was that, number 4? Next on the list is if you have any other government ID, make sure it is current, up to date, and if it's not, get that renewed. So if you're coming up to the expiration of your driver's license, and this is specifically for my Black and brown people, my melanated people, whoever's listening to this, because I'm telling you, once they start rounding people up, if you don't have your paperwork, and even if you do, I mean, we're just stacking the odds in our favor, right? You want to make sure that you stack the odds in your favor. So get your driver's license or whatever government issued ID that is broadly accepted. Get that, check it out, check to make sure it's not about to expire, and get it renewed now if it needs to be renewed. So like my birthday's in May, my driver's license expires next year. I'm getting that renewed this week. Um, and so next is making sure you have all of your legal documents. A lot of us may not have seen our social security card or our birth certificate for years and have no idea where these documents are. Go find them. Go find them. Make sure you have them, and make sure that they are readily accessible. I would also keep a digital copy in a safe form, whatever way you keep your digital files safe, or as safe as they can be. I would keep those, and especially if you have children. If you have children that tend to venture out on their own, go ahead and make sure that you have a copy of their birth certificate, their social security cards, easily accessible, and that they can that the roundups are going to happen. We just don't know when, and we just don't know who they're going to pick. And so many of us are right now focused on what's going to happen with the Latino community. Trust and believe, they are not the only undocumented people that this country is planning to go after. Have your paperwork together. So your license, your passport, and your what did I say? Birth certificate should be accessible and readily available. Also, make sure that you have a copy of all of your assets. right? Take inventory of all of your assets. That includes any banks, any digital or online platforms that you store your money. If you have anything that right now you can only access digitally, make sure you download a copy. Make sure that you have all your accounts stashed offline, right? So if something happens, the hackers are hacking. The hackers are out here. Cybersecurity is more and more of a issue and situation now. And so you want to be able to, if something goes awry with whatever banking system you use, you have the paperwork to support whatever claim you're making, whatever argument you're making. So get you a nice, good folder, old school style. I know a lot of us hate paper, right? Some of us don't even get paper statements from our banks or whatever brokerage houses we have. Go ahead and print these things out and keep it in a folder. And if you have a fireproof what do you call it? A fireproof safe. Store them in there because we just never know when we may go off the grid or the hackers will affect you and your because truth be told, there was a phishing attempt on my not my accounts on one of my sites today, and this is becoming more and more prevalent. So please get your assets. Don't rely on digital statements only or online statements only. Print everything out and keep a copy. And that includes anything related to insurance, anything related to your health. Keep a hard copy of everything. So go ahead and do that now. Next on the list, so what was that, number 4? Next on the list is if you have any other government ID, make sure it is current, up to date, and if it's not, get that renewed. If you don't know how to get those, I know it's the vital statistics for your birth certificate.
So instead of you Googling, I am supplying all of the sites that you need to go to, starting with travel.state.gov for your passport, then followed by SSA.gov for your social security card. And then if you need more information on how to get your birth certificate, USA.gov.
If something happens, the hackers are hacking. We may go off the grid or the hackers will affect you and your because truth be told, there was a phishing attempt.
Here's easy access to the rest of the video and another video that YouTube thinks you may like. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, and share with a friend.